Stereotypes are something that Americans hear and encounter in society every day. These stereotypes come from the different views and opinions that we have on each other. There are both positive and negative stereotypes that can affect people in many different ways. In sports, athletes can be stereotyped on their race, height, or even their gender. Growing up in America today, almost every person will be an athlete at some point in their life. Stereotypes on athletes are usually focused on cheaters, how black athletes are naturally gifted, and how white athletes are hardworking. As a matter of fact, there's a negative effect on these stereotypes that hurt athletes in their academics. Nobody ever wants to be treated differently or categorized by a stereotype. Stereotypes of athletes are often negative and they depict a false image of who the athlete actually is. There are many common stereotypes that you will hear about an athlete. Athletes can be viewed as cheaters, lesbians, jocks, and being soft or lazy. When athletes are categorized as being cheaters, that usually stems from them being accused of using steroids or other performance-enhancing drugs to boost their career. The way that this type of accusation could come about is possibly from recording almost impossible statistics to blowing away all your competition. Being considered a cheater makes you subject to get a lot of attention from the media and outside world, especially if you're a highly coveted athlete. Stereotypes on athletes appear all around the media. The biggest media platform that you'll see these kind of stereotypes on would be social media. Since many athletes use social media, it's not uncommon for them to face things like this on a daily basis. The stereotype that you'll see many people take to social media to use is the stereotype that an athlete is a cheater. The stereotype of using steroids to cheat is one of the most common stereotypes in baseball. You will also see many people use social media to address this stereotype. Baltimore Orioles slugger Chris Davis has had the best year of his career and already drew suspicion for his stereotype of being a cheater. As a matter of fact, he has already surpassed his single-season high in home runs, and he's not even halfway done with the season. Because of the statistics that Chris Davis is recording, he has already drew a lot of attention from social media. An example of this stereotype is when a 17-year-old fan from Michigan used Twitter to ask Chris Davis if he was on steroids because of the fantastic numbers that he was putting up, unlike his below-average career numbers. Another video on social media has showed a reporter asking Chris Davis if he had yet been tested for steroids during his breakout season. According to Chris Davis, this has affected him greatly. He has even told media that it's frustrating that people assume that you're on something because you're having success. He has also reported that he is being worn out by the constant unwanted attention that he is getting from social media and reporters about using steroids to enhance his performance. Another type of media where stereotypes on athletes are present is in sports media. Sports media can be found in the news, like newspapers, and on television, like ESPN. The stereotype present in sports media is about black and white athletes. The stereotype talks about how white athletes are smarter than the black athletes and how black athletes are naturally athletic. The media says that because of this, black athletes aren't suited to play quarterback because they lack the knowledge that you need to play the position. Almost every stereotype that we hear today is going to be negative, no matter how you put it. Based on a study done at Stanford University, it shows that stereotypes on athletes have a negative effect on student athletes in the classroom. The study shows that there are some athletes that suffer from the dumb jock stereotype in the classroom. This stereotype threat particularly affects males more than it does females. A stereotype threat is when a person's performance goes down because they are anxious about the way that they are possibly viewed by others. Over time, the stereotype on athletes has become more present in everyday life. The stereotype has evolved more and more into racial profiling. In the past, we have made these stereotypes saying that white athletes can't do this, or African American athletes can't do that. For example, a study done by analyzing football broadcasters in the 1970s showed that white players are more likely to be praised for a good play, while black players are more likely to be criticized for a bad play. A follow-up study in 2005 on collegiate football and basketball showed that white players had more positive comments on intellect and their character, while black players had more negative comments on their intellect and character. Stereotypes are present and will continue to be present in sports. We as athletes just need to remember that stereotypes are only as powerful as we let them be. Many of these stereotypes are slowly being broken. One of the stereotypes athletes face that is being broken today is that black athletes can play QB. There are actually black quarterbacks that are changing the game and are becoming MVP caliber players. For example, there are quarterbacks like Michael Vick, Cam Newton, Steve McNair, Donovan McNabb, and Warren Moon. Many of these black QBs have won the MVP award, so who is there to say that blacks can't play quarterback because they lack the knowledge to? Maybe sometime in the near future, this will lead to other stereotypes that athletes face being broken too. Although, some of these stereotypes that athletes face may limit what they might be able to accomplish because if told that they cannot do something, they will believe that they will never be able to accomplish it.